So for information to the general public, the committee members and the committee members, this is a new application for full liquor license. And let me go into the specifics. So you have indicated here that there are no schools or places of worship within 200 feet. You will not play music through a jukebox. You will have, however, occasionally have DJs. You're going to be playing music through recorded mediums. There will be no karaoke, there will be no live music.
Can I interject? We should make that live music, yes.
Joe, can you please
Yeah.
check that and put it on? Put your initials next to it. So yes, there will be live music occasionally. There will be no promoters in place. You have not indicated here whether or not this place has been soundproof. Yes or no?
I can't really tell. It's a track. So it's what we're doing. Do you want me to give you a brief synopsis?
It's the Armory.
Yeah.
Well, you know what,
it?
you can answer this question later.
Yeah, because I can't.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, I don't know if it needs to be or
It's not
it is.
even on tenant.
You're going to have security cameras on the floor. And this is as you check on the agenda on the third and the fourth floor. There'll be no rooftop, of course. The house operations are going to depend on the events. So there are no specific hours here as to when this license is going to be active. The capacity is 2,500.
What?
What?
No.
Maybe it's the Armory.
The Armory.
It's the Armory, 2,500. And this is only for events, I think.
It's two things. It's twofold. I'll explain in just a second.
So. And of course, the chairs and tables are going to be set up depending on the event requirement.
Correct.
Okay, do we have some renderings here as far as like the floor plan? I don't have that with me.
You do. You should. Now they have copies.
Maybe inside the envelope?
Copies of the floor plan. We call it menu as well.
Is it many?
Menu. Yeah. Quote for it.
Do you have extra copies for the committee?
I do. Yeah. I do. I have packs.
Really?
Is everything inside?
I've heard about that.
Officer Penna, please provide a copy of the floor plan. Oh, no, sorry. I'm like used to you. It's like, my apologies.
No, they agree.
That's why I asked. I've learned so much, so I want to understand how much.
While you review the specifics, officer, I'm going to open up the floor to the residents for some comments. Cheryl?
Yeah. Okay, what, you know, the hospital is right there. It may not be within 200 feet of a school or a house of worship, but the hospital is right there.
What's a youth center also?
This was about, you know, hospital zones, they can't have any like loud music, things like that. It's supposed to be like only alcohol in a hospital zone. Right there, the hospital's right there.
Okay. Sorry for that.
Deborah, I live 2 blocks away. This is the Armory. I don't understand how And from my understanding, having looked at Department of Building documents to see who actually is the landlord of the building, how you could possibly lease out to another organization when there are documents somewhere that state that you can't, the Armory Foundation cannot lease out space to another organization. Two, this is also a youth center. We have programs there. It is track and field, which is also guaranteed or for young people. I don't understand why the Armory would even be used for like a fashion show and other things like that. And then we don't even open up this building, whether it's your business or whomever, to members of the community in a most affordable way. Three, I can hear the Armory from my bedroom window on track days. So just those horns and things like that, the concept of doing, you know, whether it's doing graduation for Columbia University or any special event, I just don't understand why this is happening. I am dead set against this because it is city property, and do we have another La Marina, which is an issue with public land being used for profit.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Aisha.
So, in the same vein, I want to remind this committee that some of you may have made no donations of this, but there was a resolution that was voted on 29-0. There's a member of the community that comes and reminds us very often about this resolution, which basically challenged the current, how the building is being run. Since then, it has come to light that the contract for the building actually does not even allow the Armory Foundation to lease spaces. They are a tenant as much as there's another tenant in the building. That building is supposed to be governed by a city agency, and that city agency is the Department of Homeless Services. And it's not being run the way that it's supposed to be run for years. So how anyone is here applying for a liquor license in that building is completely beyond me.
Exactly.
And I think that, again, because I have been driving this through the wall for years, this board needs to challenge how that building is being run. And it's this is like out of control now. We have a liquor license before us on a building that is a city property that should be used for the benefit of this community, and it pretty much is not. Children from all over this country take better advantage of that building than our own children.
That's
and
right.
Even those children are only in that building 5 months out of the year for track purposes, and for the rest of the year, it pretty much sits empty. Will continue to yell this from the mountaintop. I challenge the application.
I now try to go back to prison to see if you guys have any concerns, but
I mean, we don't have any issues there, just, you know, the shelter that's there, that's the only problem that we have every time we go around that area. But my question is, what is it gonna be? Is it like a catering hall?
Well, I think maybe I probably should have told you what we were doing.
let's make sure that you really state what is the concern, then you can address it.
Okay.
There's no concern as of now.
So you just, the capacity, you asking about what's going to be held, the specifics, about the event, things like that.
Right.
Yeah.
So what we are is
For the
we
purpose of the meetings,
Sure.
please state your name and affiliation.
my name is Peter Fazio, and we run the concessions at the Armory. We have nothing to do with obviously with the foundation and what they do. We're a food service provider, and they have asked us to, as an amenity, we run 2 concession stands there. So they have asked us for their patrons and the people who visit, because they run different high-level track events. These are for track meets. We would like to apply for a license to serve beverages at our concession stands. And that's, I guess, primary number 1. Primary number 2 is we cater special events there. So we were looking to have, instead of applying for daily permits to do events there, we would like to get this license would then cover the catering events there. Catering events there could be, I think there's track season, which is current, I believe it starts now, from November through March, and then the facility can be rented out for private entities. As you said, that was Columbia University New York Presbyterian.
Or the fashion show, the
Miss,
VH1.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, sir, I apologize.
And, yeah, so, and that's, and so, those are events that take place there. We haven't catered those events, but we cater we've been there for, I guess, a year and a half now. So we run the concessions. So our application is to be able to serve, so when guests come, they go to the concession, they can get a beer, they can get wine, they can get a beverage in addition to the concession items. That's what we're applying for.
Gerard,
Is there anybody?
let me just be consistent. Oh, sorry, you have a question?
Yeah, a couple quick questions. So you're already operating concessions there. Now, when you start off, you said you don't have, what did you say, that you're not working with the Armory Foundation, or you're not?
No, we have a contract to be the provider to run the concessions
Okay, and who was your contract with?
with the Armory Foundation.
Okay, and from what I've been hearing, that it may be questionable whether that is proper. Maybe they are supposed to be going through Department of Homeless Services, or at very least Department of Homeless Services is supposed to have some involvement in this. From what I've been hearing, I don't know for
Do you
sure,
have an
but it
address?
seems from a lot of the information that I've been getting that the Department of Homeless Services is supposed to be really managing things, and they just letting the Armory Foundation do most of what's going on, but the Armory Foundation is only one licensee, and there's at least one other licensee, and, so that's it. But, so you have these concessions operating during track meets?
Correct.
So now you're applying to be able to serve
Booze.
alcohol during the track meets when all these kids are in there?
Correct. Well, kids and it's.
Kids and adults,
And
obviously
kids
you're not
are-
gonna sell to the kids, but they'll be
Correct.
sitting right there next to the, and if somebody goes and buys liquor, they can hand it to them. I mean, that's an issue.
That's up to the parents.
Yeah, I guess, and that's a viable concern. I guess it's just like any other stadium. That's kind of the way they usually, yeah. And, yeah.
I'm sorry. Deborah, she has the floor.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, well, just, we have a business, we're providing this, we're not here to say we're doing anything right, wrong. I can't speak on the foundation by any means. We sell concessions. They've said to us, can you see if you could, let's sell beer at the concessions for all these patrons that come. I mean, because they do the Melrose games, they do the Balance games, the AT&T this weekend. They run these big track meets, and we're saying if we can get an application to serve during the track meets. That's our question, I guess.
Richard.
I have a hypothetical question. Since you are at this stage the sole proprietor to do this, what happens if someone else decides that they want to have a proprietor cater as well? Would that not be competing problems and issues in terms of space? Since on your application, you're not gonna tell everybody where you are in the Armory. So it seems to me that you're moving one place to another, and we have no controls here or any way of saying where you're going to hold your concessions. There are some rooms there, I know, but you're saying you want it anywhere in the Armory that someone requests you to go?
No, we have two concession stands. We have a cafe called the Victory Cafe. It's on the 3rd floor and on the 4th floor. They're built-in concession areas.
So that's the only places that you will be?
Correct.
And do we have a map or a rendering of that?
Yes.
Since this is an application?
We do.
Profiteering.
Okay,
City
um,
property. Profiteering.
Again, my question is, someone else wanted to do this, which is their right, would that pose a problem?
Someone else meaning,
Someone else wanted to get a liquor license from, let's say, another tenant in the building, what happens then?
I don't know if that's
Does anyone
possible.
else have a concession license?
We have said, let's be very clear, the Department of Homeless Service does manage that building, there's no doubt about that.
Okay.
Okay. The question is, suppose someone wanted to lease something from them to run another establishment. Who then has jurisdiction of where they're going to go, since you truly don't own any of the spaces?
I do not know the answer to
I
that.
think what you're asking is whether or not he's an exclusive licensee.
Exactly,
Is he
and I
an
don't think the
exclusive-
board should give you, in my opinion, exclusive licensee over public properties. That's a very serious problem. That's like me saying I can have something in the park as a concessionaire anywhere I want to.
Well, did you
This
go
is
through
a
a
city
public
piece of
art
property.
process? Do you know?
There was there was another provider there before us for many years, and then they asked us to come, and then we filled out, we have what is, I guess, a contract they put together as us being there. I guess they need to have somebody, one person to sell the concessions, so that's what we do.
Are you currently selling?
Maybe you
We
have a
been-
contract.
We have a contract with the Armory
So
Foundation.
that mean,
But they're
We have a
not the
lease.
lease, they're the.
well, you guys have a lease.
That I
So-
don't know. I don't know.
Allowed to do-
So the question
Robert,
again
hold
is,
on.
selling the.
We are the sole provider of the concession stands.
Okay.
We have a contract to be the concessionaires. I
Got
guess
it.
that's the base.
Okay.
Thank you.
So we have a contract to be the concessionaire during track season. We're there every day. We're there today. We're selling, very concession style food to all the patrons. And then we're seeing if we could add beer to that, kind of like when you go to, any other, Madison Square Garden or somewhere, where you go in and to make it another amenity for them to be able to provide to their guests.
Aurelia.
You see, also, I just wanted to mention, therefore, they're vetted by the SLA it's highly regulated. It has to have its space, just like a liquor license, an allocated space, plus they're seasonal, plus on top of, that's why sometimes the parks are rented out, because they're seasonal with different areas and it's very specific for caterers, and I've done many caterers, and they're just very difficult to get. So this was a hard to get, and it's exclusive. You just can't, the liquor authority manages, it doesn't have jurisdiction until the license is issued, and when it's issued, it doesn't just give a license to 10 people who want it. If there's somebody there, it's considered as a whole.
Thank you.
So no other people.
Aisha.
I want to speak to Jennifer's question, which is how was this obtained? Is it through an RFP? Nothing that is being done in that building is being done by RFP. It should be, as a city building that is supposed to be run by a city agency, the allotment of space, time, etc. through that building should be done as would be the process in any other city agency. It is not. It is done by the discretion of the Armory Foundation, who they want to, who they don't, who they want to charge, whatever amount, 15, there's articles that have been written about this problem. Where there was a resolution that was put forward in the Youth and Education, voted unanimously, and then got tabled before the general, and there's been much ado,
Thank you.
including elected officials, and
Conclude
we
your
still are
statements.
nowhere with it, and now we're here with the liquor application.
Yes, right. I
Deborah, I have
think
not recognized you.
these
Sorry,
matters are.
sorry. I have not recognized you. Gerard.
A couple of questions. Who filled out this application?
We did.
We as who?
Our company, Sterling Fair.
Okay, so,
Me, I signed it.
and are you here with anybody tonight?
This is my our vice president.
Vice President for
Our company.
Armory or for your company?
There's no representation from the
Okay,
Armory
so
yet.
that's.
Yeah, we're the caterer. We were told that we could come here and apply.
I got it. So, a couple of questions. So you answered the question. The application you submitted is incomplete. It's in many ways non-specific. Certainly, if you wanted this committee and this community to seriously consider this request, who is your contract with?
With the Armory Foundation.
So, I'll tell you one thing,
We should
you
bring
can send
it
this
with us.
message to them.
Yeah.
That it really shows a lack of respect and a lack of showing consideration, forget about us, but to this community, to not think that this is something that they should make the time for. So at the end of it, at minimum, they didn't make the time for this.
I want to remind the committee
No,
that we have
no.
two board members.
No.
Two of
Aisha.
our board members work
Aisha,
for
you
the
are out of
Armory
order. I'm sorry.
Foundation.
Aisha, you are out of order. I'm sorry. You are.
So,
Well, I'd like to say it on the record.
I would say as a committee member, that shows a lack of respect for the process and for the community, as well as in here, like I said, it's incomplete. There's a lot of things that should be in here that are more specific, certainly the area and location within that armory. You should come here with floor plans. You should show specific, discrete locations where this is important because you just said there's gonna be children, kids around. And, you should present with your boss, your company, that you're not licensed with. Where will it be sold? where will it be consumed? Where will it not be allowed to be brought out of? I mean, there's from the public safety, there's a lot of things.
Sure.
that
Well,
you-
I'll ask advice, right? Here's my
Well,
advice.
I mean, we're not here to give you advice, but I will say
Well, you can
this.
ask everybody, but,
Well,
wait a second, you go through our.
just finishing, I'll wrap it up, that this shows a significant lack of interest and of consideration for this committee and for this community, the way this was presented. And you should tell the Armory that's not the way to do it.
My question would be, do you think it's wise if I just go back to the Armory Foundation and say, it's not
Withdraw your
appropriate?
application.
Just withdraw it.
I'm just asking, because they, look, you know, we've been asked as a provider to do that as an amenity, and if you think it's fruitless, if you think it's crazy for us to do this, we'll go back and say that it's not a good idea.
The fact that the application has not been fully completed, I sense that it will have a hard time getting approved.
What other
I
parties?
recommend that you perhaps want to consider withdraw this application and consider the issues that have been brought up to you and think about it
Yeah.
and come back perhaps to some answers.
You have, you have a copy of this, right?
I do.
Okay, so you look at that because, and you will see what's incomplete here. Everything, every single thing here must be completed.
Okay, could you just give me one example, what's
Well,
not?
before we get to that, sir, do you want to consider withdrawing your application? Or do you want us to vote on this?
Yeah, so if we withdraw, which means we will not.
No harm, no fault, you go
Yeah.
back, you come back,
But no, maybe not come back.
well, maybe not.
No, I'm serious. I might go back to the foundation and say this is not, it will never pass. And that's why we've come, we would love to serve beer at the concession, right? Because that would be maybe good
You know,
business, but
we're not here to, we can't advise you or counsel you on how you should come here.
that's what I'm asking.
Well, you know, there's people you can speak to.
So, because it's a very seasonal, it's a very seasonal portion. It's not all year round.
Here's the question, do you want to consider withdrawing your application, or do you want us to vote?
by January.
So at this point, we'll withdraw. Yeah.
So this application for record has
So it looks like I gotta gather much more information from the foundation. Aisha, can I talk to you for a second afterwards? Yeah. Yes, sir.
Make sure everything on the application is complete, everything.
I have a question.
Okay,
Is
could you
this
just tell me
beer
why?
permit or liquor permit?
On premise.
On premise, so
This
what's
application has
this
been done.
Correct, because
Let's move to the next
Okay.
one.
All right, so, you can take that outside or whatever. This, it was withdrawn, we're done.
I know, I had a
No,
comment to make.
You can start, sorry. Next, please.
Item 16, no, item 17, State Liquor Authority new license. 17, Anubis Bar Corp. doing business as to be determined.